Grand greetings, cosmic greetings, and abundant blessings to us all. I definitely go by Baba Lex, and welcome back to the channel. Wow. I forget that before we continue, I must just configure this bad boy and remove this panel. Oh, wow. I don't even know if I can remove this, but nice little blooper. Welcome to everybody who's joining once again. We are back for Friday night teachings live on TikTok. Okay, we thank you for your patience. We are slightly late jumping on, but once again, whenever we put these topics on, guys, what takes place? Lo and behold. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, as people are trickling in for the teachings, I'm gonna be doing the sharing. I'm also gonna be configuring all of my face so that people, as they're coming in, because I know that Friday evening it's a bunch of topics on TikTok, and we're teaching here. Okay, so this is not really a panel sort of availability, but you know what? I might as well leave that panel on, huh? Might as well leave the panel on and just blow myself up like this. So Gozani, welcome to Friday evening teachings with Mina Baba Lex. We're back on the 20th of June, guys. Just please do share this. As you can see, I'm just configuring the topic right there and my face subsequently. Okay, this thing's quite tricky. Give me a second. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. There we go. Yazine. Okay. See, Baba Lex is just organizing so that you can see the topic of the teachings this Friday evening, mastering electromagnetic waves. But those of you who are following me, and those of you who are also privy to the posts which I've started to make a thread. In that thread, it's mastering electromagnetic waves, all right? But as it's mastering these electromagnetic waves, the series, what I'm doing is I'm allowing beings to start to recognize that this is happening in your vessel day in, day out, whether you are observing of this or not. Okay? So Gazani, welcome to the Lighthouse Portal 7.11, all the way from Maui, Hawaii. Okay, so as you can I forgot that I had this panel up, but I'm going to leave it up, so it's fine. Let's just make sure that we all get nice blues out here. This is not going to be a perfect replay, but then what is perfection? Mastering the electromagnetic waves. Please let me know if you can see that heading nicely. Am I sitting nicely? Let me know if I am. And then also, I forget that I had this panel on, but this panel is fine for Q&A. It's an amazing panel for Q&A. So those of you who do have questions, higher grade questions, higher consciousness questions pertaining to the topic, mastering electromagnetic waves. Once again, Mina Ngingu Baba Lex. I do definitely go by Baba Lex, the Liquid Alchemist. As you come in, please just check the description. Remind yourself of what room you're in, what space you're in. Okay? It's a beautiful time to be available. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So, I don't want to kick in too hard because, the Friday evening teachings, guys, we know that we like to have a bit of fun. And as per usual, before we have a sip, I'm going to also share, thank you Lighthouse Portal 7.11 for sharing, and also for independently taking the leap to publish my first book, The Law of Attunement Teachings, Book 1. The pre-order link is available, guys. Please check my bio. And also, thank you to those of you who continue to not only just follow, but engage. Okay? I'm seeing that, you see this is why we said this topic, okay? Mastering the electromagnetic waves. So now we're going to be teaching. And yes, if you want to have questions, if you got questions, join the panel. At some stage, I'm going to open this to Q&A. 𝙃𝙚𝙡𝙦, 𝙃𝙚𝙡. So on this Gregorian calendar, ladies and gents, my peeps, just wait, I can't see, bro. Just wait. You see? Every time, these settings just do their own thing. Baba Lex is trying to give the beans, and next thing... All right, 𝙃𝙚. Right. So these are the notes for this evening. As you can see, the date is the 20th of the 6th month. Guys, where's the time gone? Apparently on the Gregorian calendar, it's June. Bati June. What? That's crazy. The Law of Attunement Teachings, as per my first book of teachings, there's going to be 3 in the teachings, okay? So book 1 is available for pre-order. Please check the link. This is Mastering Electromagnetic Waves. In between there, look a bit, in between there you can say frequency waves. Okay, because the frequency is going to be how quick or how slow. It will make sense, all right? And thank you to those of you who continue to join. Shout out Tapelo Mash, shout out Kim, who just joined the room. Shout out to everybody who also, I just missed a few names. Once again, this is my teachings as per Friday evening, and we're back with this powerful one, because if you just look at the 2 latest posts, electromagnetic waves, 1 and 2 is simply stepping stones. These are just the 4-minute, 5-minute little beans so that you can go and be Jack or Jane, Tabo or Tandeka. Go and grow your beanstalk. Take the information, okay? This information, because it's not only from books. All right, we've activated our DNA. So we are tapping into Akash. What is Akash? The Akashic records are what? The Akashic records is soul. Okay? So once you start to unravel your DNA, which they say is junk, bullshit, all right? This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. You then don't need a Google. You do not need even what they call AI. And we're going to tap into this again. Just check the YouTube channel, okay? I laid this out for you. Artificial intelligence. Put them next to each other. Artificial, intelligence. Artificial cannot be intelligent, because artificial is man-made or fake. A copy. Intelligence is not artificial. It's not man-made. See? So the 2 are what you call a bamboozling. You see? So this is even why we aren't able to master these electromagnetic waves. That is just the mentality, because the trick is in the spells. Okay, and we've put this out on the YouTube channel. Please go and check it out. We're not going to spend too much time in this teachings. What we're going to do is give a lot more power. Okay, because once again, the series is still going to continue, but then this is going to be something you can come back to. Okay, especially once you're fasted. Okay, you clean up what you're eating. Okay, and then take the information and put it in your formation again. Inform yourself. Inform your cells. All right, who's that there? Shout out Buddha Son. Buddha Son. SA, how you feeling? Okay, so for those of you who are ready, we're going to kick in. We're going to kick in nicely, but just to also address one last thing before we... Mzansi in South Africa, on the national news now, they're talking about the weather anomalies. Eastern Cape floods, hectic. Just now, about a week ago. About a week ago. Listen, Guys, it was like snowing in places where snow shouldn't be. You see? I said this in, if it's not part 1, it's part 2, where such is happening that if you don't know what the electricity is, I'm going to give you the properties. If you don't know what the magnetism is, I'm going to give you the properties. But just to know this, your body and the body of Earth are linked. All right? This is also not rocket science. Once again, Tina, those of us ancient, but also teachings here, African spirituality, we know these things. Okay? It's kind of common sense here. But once again, common sense is not common. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Because even those who look like me are teaching bull dust or don't even know what's going for what. You see, spirit of confusion means that your cells don't know who they are. You inside you are having a fight before outside you is fighting other things. See? Wild. Okay? So you don't know how to master any sort of electromagnetism, okay? Any waves, any frequency, if you yourself don't know how to master your cells. All right? Once you begin to master yourself, your cells, this is how you begin to what? Electromagnetically become a force, a wave. You begin to surf the wave. You know, Silver Surfer? Yes. Go back and check out as a case study when you watch this. Go and watch Fantastic Four, the second one. The one with the old guy with Jessica Alba. You know. Yes. Watch that one. Please. And when you watch that one, Silver Surfer's properties, take heed. You see? These superhero movies give us the beans in terms of a already spiritualized but bastardized, because all those superheroes are just African heroes, which they, or deities, African deities, original deities, which all the way Kemet, back Kemet, because Kemet was created by us. Y'all don't get it. You see, because once again, everything is going to course correct itself. But you yourself, in order to not be confused, must master electromagnetic waves. Okay? Simple. Once you start to master electromagnetic waves, shout out King Sage, Divine Sage in the building. How you feeling, bruv? All the way from Florida. How's it going that side? You see, here I was just saying, places are snowing or were snowing, the other strong, the other weak, where it shouldn't be. There's going to be places where it's desert and it's raining or a lot of water is there and it shouldn't be there. There's going to be places where there's a lot of water, but now it's bone dry. See? See? This is the same thing happening on our vessels. Places which never had water or liquid or thought or energy is now receiving it. Places where you never thought you yourself would be able to not just dream about but be about is now available. That is shocking to the system, for sure. Everything is shocking to the system because chaos, right? So, point number one, all right? This is very simple. You must ask yourself these everywhere. You know, in school, where they're like, all right, children, right, the teacher's like, sit down there. Why are you here? When did you come? What is the time? See those basic shits? We should be asking ourselves those about everything to do with ourself. Simple. Right? this is also talking to self-mastery in general. But the reason why we say electromagnetic waves is because Solala, sun, and also Gaia, earth. Okay, soul already, go check the YouTube channel. The episode is there. The teachings is there. Soul, the soul, okay, solar plexus, soles of the feet, and that intricate interconnectedness. You see, I did that video when 23 or 24 because already I had attuned to what was popping. So then I laid out a beam so that okay, we can build on that, right? Because once again, guys, what, why, when, where, how, with whom? Why is this even necessary? What is this necessary? Okay. The reason why we must master this and start to leave what you call this old world or this physicality or even all of this suffering is because if you do not, you will be shifted out on purpose. Not to say drop everything and leave. Oh, Baba Lex said leave my job. Baba Lex said I mustn't go to church. Nah, I didn't say any of the such. And I would never tell you what to do. Because as a sovereign being, you should be telling your cells what to do. Wait, scratch that. You already do. You're already talking to your cells. But oh shit, you dropped something. I'm such an idiot. Whoops. Who heard that first? I'm such broken, damaged goods. Okay. And then we wonder why the thought forms, the electricity, the direction, the purpose is scrambled. No eggs. And even still, you shouldn't be eating that. You know, wean off that. But we're going to get there. Feel me? Listen, Sage, listen. I'm telling you, Sage, listen. You know what I'm saying. Because, once again, no one is going to be immune to the electricity. Your thoughts, wild. Everybody can attest to this. Since the rapture of 2020, thought realm, wild. You can be just minding your own beeswax, you moving this way, and then all of a sudden, fuck, shit, fuck, kill that, boop, doop, blah, blah, boof. Huh? You see? But also, the electricity is not only just the thoughts, it is a masculine principle. This you should know by now, okay? Because I'm not going to go back to basics. Everybody should know this. Okay, the masculine energy is direction. I'm not talking about a man. Okay, so relax. All the feminists in the back. Oh, damn it. Wow. Just, you see, not everything is not an attack to you. This is also how shadow work has to come in. Because not everything is going for you. What's definitely going for us is the system. It's what's not allowing us to master our electric magnetic frequency waves. The divine dance of divinity, as I framed in the Law of Attunement Teachings, book 1, right? The divine dance of divinity is the electromagnetic or the magneto-electric movement, right? So, just a quick one. Masculine, warm, positive in terms of charge, positively charged, okay? Check the feminist in the back. Baba Lex? Baba Lex? Calm down. All of you, please. So, okay. Direction. Think lightning. Purpose. Consciousness. Passion. Play. Okay? Activity. getting shit done. You see? So this is the masculine principle. Everything in you that does that, the physicality, okay, let's do the body, mind, spirit, okay? Spirit, mind, vessel, vessel, mind, spirit. The physicality of you in the masculine nature or energetics is the way you walk, the act of walking, the act of rising. That's masculine. Do you get where we're going with this? Very simple. So within you, there's masculine principles you act upon the ion, ion, action. Whoops. Yes. Ion, an energy measurement. Act upon the ion, action. There's the spell again, boom, just to confirm. You see? In the mind, it's the thought forms, it's your convictions in your mind. Okay, so everything that comes to this thought realm that you act upon, that's a masculine principle. In the spirit realm, it is what you call, again, your convictions, your beliefs, your purposes, your passion, your play. See? Enter religion, because your only motivation apparently is God, right? But God, yes, I'm not knocking God. God is outside of us, apparently. Until such moment, we know that we don't take every one of each piece of information literally from the old world, because it's not meant for us to win. It's meant for us to take the information, put it in formation, and inform ourselves. Okay, to the best of our own ability, in accordance with our own DNA. If it doesn't make sense to me, why am I chilling here? Why am I involving it? Why am I ingesting it? Why, when it doesn't pertain to me, to my cells? You see? So this is the bamboozling of not being able to master electromagnetic waves. The first, before you master waves outside, you master you, slam dunk your own self. You see? So the masculine principles start to know that if you're a byproduct of God, you're also therefore a procreator. If you're able to procreate, you're then an aspect of God, right? G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer of your own reality. What's happening with the solar UVC rays is that they're removing the middleman. We're saying they're removing the middleman. What does that mean? In religion, the middleman is the pastor or the preacher or that person that has to connect you to what you call God. But there's always T's and C's. We call it terms and conditions. A contract. Con-co, between two. Whoops, I don't know who's getting con there. Tract, which is tract. It's tract. Wow. What? I see you. I see you. But once again, see yourself first. In order to get there, to start to, you have to cleanse. Everyone says, okay, Baba Lex, you always hit us with some nice info. But then what? Cleanse. Take yourself on fasts. Fast every now and again. All right? Once again, this is why I created my 72-hour water-only full moon fast, which I've been fasting consistently since 2019. Every full moon. But I mean, I'm obviously water only, but then I've been doing extended fasts in between. I've gone up to 22 days, my most. Done a 12-day homeostasis fast, but that's on my YouTube channel at Lex Stays Liquid on the YouTube channel. Go check it out, have fun. But you have to partake in your own life, right? So number one, to get in charge of your masculine energy, you need to know what the masculine principles are everywhere. Okay, shout out to, who's that? Molefe, how you feeling? Yeah, yes. Can I be a shaitan just for now? No, you can't be a shaitan on this channel now. I'm teaching right now, so if you just pay attention for a little bit, just share, you're going to receive what you need to receive. Okay, but this will go on a replay on the YouTube channel. We're teaching. It's a Friday evening. Everyone is going wild on TikTok. You know, we have to bring stability, and we've been doing this since last year consistently. Yes, 23 or 24, around there. But once again, as we're continuing, right, this is the notes for this evening. We're still on number one. So this is what they switch off as a child. Your questioning of everything. How, why, when, where, what, with whom. Okay? Because once you answer your whys, everything makes sense. It becomes senseful, not senseless, nonsensical. You see? Things which are not even meant to be debated, especially when it comes to yourself, are being debated. If you look outside, just check the news. Like I said, they're saying there's weather anomalies, eMzansi, in South Africa. Weather anomalies in South Africa only it's been happening. You see? So once again, if you switched off and you don't know who you are yourself, every information that comes out is 𝙃𝙗𝙗. It's gonna hit you hard, upside the head, bam, and you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be very dazed. You see, this is why decolonize the mind, decolonize the body, decolonize your spirit. And because another being or another peoples are empowered, it doesn't mean that you are less in power. You see, and this is what the information is going to start to change. But first, we have to cleanse our vessels. You know, I'm not sure to give any lectures on cleansing yourself when, but if you're asking on how to do it and which direction to move, you know, Baba Lex is going to give you, as per my book as well, the Law of Attunement Teachings. All right, book 1, pre-order, link is available. Just check my bio. All right. Wow, the YouTube channel has most of those gems, but once again, who am I? Over here, these waves now can only become a wave once you tap into your feminine energy. Who can tell me what feminine energy is? The feminine energetic principle, not a woman. Please don't bore me. Shout out to, who's that? Mr. Skrif. Sorry if I'm butchering it. Man, I've been cults way too long. Charismatic ain't my thing. I'll come back. You've been in cults? Wow. Sheesh. You see how education already, boom. Who said anything about a cult? Take the time out to just, you know, do your own research. And man, cults are like, you're crazy. If you still get bamboozled by cults, you might as well get bamboozled by, what is this? Pyramid schemes. Come on, man, move. Get out of here. I'm actually gonna block that guy. That's an NPC just coming in here spewing. Blick, 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 blick. You sound like a woman's scorn. Stop it. Rather heal. Okay, you sound like either you don't know if you're a man, if you're a boy, if you're a woman, you confused. You don't know what you are. You don't know what's happening. TikTok is a place where everyone is going to come on and just spew, right? But when you come in, you see structure. When you see focus, it's very bamboozling, right? So this is the prototype of my first book, The Law of Attunement Teachings, book 1, right? And this is the topic. We're about to now continue to the next level of this topic, right? We just explained how to dive into what is it we call our masculine energy. Okay, our masculine energy requires us to be in charge of our thought forms, our minds. Okay, because also, once again, me, myself, Baba Lex, I don't think. Doesn't make sense to you, but let me just explain just 2 seconds. Thinking is the act of you trying to justify what you don't know. Okay, so I know. So that's why I'm not where I don't know. If I don't know, I'll ask. Otherwise, I don't think, because you're debating what you don't know. Instead of debating what you don't know constantly, which this burns this out. It burns out your brain. If you're always thinking, what happens? Y'all who always constantly think. I know I've had a few clients who've come through say, "Oh, Baba Lex, how do I stop thinking?" How do I start? See, yeah. See? Because constantly running thoughts through this thing will burn you out. Okay? So now, I notice most children before 7 think out of curiosity, not programming. Yes. Yes. Most, yes. 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 And children ask these questions. They ask what we just said here. What, why, when, where, how, with whom? And then mommy, daddy says, what? Say what? Shh, shh, shh. Shut it quickly, cut it quickly before I chop you. And then what do? We switch off the faculty of curiosity. I love that. Thank you, Lighthouse Portal. And once again, when you switch off that childlike wonder, the glint in your eye, you know what I mean? Oh, wow. You start trying. Let me explain. Trying, once you are told that you can't, it doesn't exist, you'll never amount to, and then you switch off the curiosity spark, right? What starts to take place is you try knowing that you'll never be. So you don't put in effort. So trying is pretty much a place where we all agree to be mediocre. Oh shit, Baba Lex, yes. Trying is the act of allowing yourself to be mediocre. When you say I'm trying, you see? But once again, you have to cleanse yourself and get to the point where you're like Baba Lex, you stay liquid. Right? Being liquid means that you've cleansed all of those programs which say can't. I never say that. I don't know when last I said that spell to my cells, right? Because that switches off everything that you are subsequently. Even try. It's either you do it or you don't. It's either you in or you out. No Diddy, please. Wow. Okay. Hey, shout out Giovanni George. I saw your comment. Nice, yes. What is your thoughts on pulsed magnetic therapy? It's very good therapy for injury. Yes, of course. Magnetic energy. This is what we're getting into right here, right now. Thank you. You see? Beautiful. So magnetic energy is feminine in principle. It's feminine in its nature. Not a female. But magnetic energy is feminine because of its principalities, right? We explained the principalities of masculine energy. Yes? What are those? it is similar to what you can call lightning. These are just crypt notes, okay, quickly, so that we can catch up. All of y'all who are quick in, just continue to share, right? Let me put this onto my, let me just share this onto my my live. Add to story. Perfect. Is this like a promo? Come to Baba Lex's teachings. Give me a second, please, guys. So thank you for joining, and thank you for that, Giovanni. And I see that. Have you involved yourself in this therapy, pulsed magnetic therapy? And yes, it's amazing. It's powerful. Feminine energetic principle is what you call harmonious. Okay. Just a quick one, just to jump the guns 2 seconds, because this is beautiful. A lot of the therapies which are going to come out now, as we're moving closer and closer into realizing that we're in the age of Aquarius, Nyambela, okay, for real, is that all of these healings have feminine principalities inclusive. I mean, don't we call her Mama Nature? Absolutely, the lighthouse portal. We leap without fear. Leap without fear. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm not too sure if they're allowing you to pin, moderator, lighthouse portal. Are they allowing you to pin comments? Just check for me. Okay. So for those of you who've come in, we're just going to do some quick crypt notes. Okay. So once again, this is the reason why none of us, by default, and also why don't they teach us this in what you call school? So indoctrination. Sorry, institute. Sorry, what? They don't teach you this, huh? But because it's this is like what grandmother or great mother Sophia Stewart, who wrote the mother of the Matrix, who wrote the Matrix and Terminator, okay, she already had the what you call download, but she tapped to Akashic records is Solala, or however many Solalas you can count wherever you are. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right. So now that Akash is lining up, okay, to what they say a central sun, a central Solala. So that central Solala must be a Solala which has information about the entire cosmos. So when they align, attune, or are visible, or does that not mean that you, if you are attuned, you can then tap into that information? I mean, ask Alexa about that. Hey, I don't play with that AI because it's not intelligence. It's a trick. All right? And I'll explain if you want. Just ask the questions. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fear is the biggest hindrance to unlocking your electromagnetic own frequency. If you're scared, if you're terrified, it doesn't exist. Also, if you have the belief system that whatever the case, or it doesn't exist, guess what? You're correct. Copper water bottle, yes, copper vessels for sure. Copper is what helps your blood crystal. So whatever copper you can get, as long as it's, obviously copper, this is pretty much the cousin, or you can call it the little brother of gold. I mean, someone called me copper the other day. Shout out Lighthouse Portal. Hey, copper water and also different types of liquids. I mean, Baba Lex here, Lex stays liquid. I engage in multiple types of different types of waters. Okay, people don't get this. There's different types of liquids, and as an alchemist as well, this is the feminine energetic principle. Thank you. Okay, magnetic. It's not polarized, but it is magnetic because it comes back on itself. So the best image to those at the back will look like, is it illustration time again? Wow, the other teachings. Where's that guy? Amazing. I'll find that guy and send you a gift. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you. Say my drawings are quite cool. Yeah, we take some. I mean, this is why we're also an author. You get me? So, and also a tattooist. Once again, just to illustrate, I just want to get a piece of paper. This magnetic energy, which is feminine in nature. You see, magnetic energy, which is feminine in nature, is nurturing. Okay? It'll never harm you. It's like nature will never harm you. So when in mainstream, they tell you that they give you natural things and then they say there's side effects. That doesn't make sense. In nature, naturally, there's no such thing as a side effect. A side effect simply means that whatever you've taken is looking to ground itself in your vessel with your energy. It's offsetting with you. It's earthing through you. If any of y'all get electronics or electrics or connectivity, AC, current, you see what I mean? Whatever you have a side effect of, it means it's grounding through you. Because then when you have a side effect, it's unnatural, right? It's been spliced from nature. So what they do is they isolate a chemical. If I take, shit, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Wow. I take the coca leaf plant. If I synthesize it a certain way, I'm making chocolate. If I synthesize it another way, I'm now making coca. You see what I'm saying? It's just a simple thing about isolating certain chemicals. When you isolate a certain chemical from the whole, it's like you say, this apple, I don't want the whole apple. I just want that one thing that in there that gives me that there. And then you make it run. And then you'll have that, but guess what it does? Since it's not a full body spectrum, it has to find its offset elsewhere. And that is through you. Hence why side effect. It's in my book as well. The Law of Attunement Teachings, book 1. Pre-order link available. Check the bio. That's how it goes. So this is what magnetic energy would, in other words, kind of look like. But these illustrations are literally for the people in the back. So right here, as we are seeing, this is what you would equate to almost, you see, like a magnet, but it's not polarized, but it always comes back on itself. And then this you would equate to that masculine energy, that electricity. Jabam! It's got a direction. It's got a purpose. It's positively charged. This one is, the feminine is negatively charged. See? So then when they say 666, what do they mean? 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Protons, the masculine energy. Electrons, the feminine energy. And then now we're talking about that middleman, the neutron. You see why you're not able to master electromagnetic waves? Because everything in your body, physicality, mentality, and spirituality, there's a middleman, or there's a middle person, or there's an abusive relationship going on that you just can't seem to shake. Wow. That's now the metaphysical aspects which have tied into it, right? So now, Baba Lex, what I did was, you need to master yourself holistically. And then also, that is the physical, mental, and spiritual challenges for you to get to this, mastering your electromagnetic wave, you, yourself, but also noticing what your signature even is. Do you even know your own electromagnetic signature? Let me check some questions. Shout out Giovanni Giorgio. Thank you so much. For your injury and mental health. Okay. So that's the magnetic magnetotherapy. I'm not saying it correctly, but it's up there in the. I'm gonna go into more information on that. But once again, you can get that from nature, right? But in terms of the type of therapy, we're probably gonna have to connect more, and then you're gonna tell me a little bit more about that. But interesting, right? Super fascinating. As we can see now, we're going to speak about that middleman and how to eradicate that thing quickly, because it's already there. It's already there. And these answers are not astronomical. It's not something that you haven't come across before. Maybe you haven't put it together quite as liquidly as Lex stays liquid. Mina Baba Lex can do it for you. Okay? Shout out, my brother. Oh yeah, there we go. Man, it's such a pleasure. Thank you. Yes. You know, he just said that's Divine Sage all the way from Miami, Florida. You know, these lives be healing for real. Thank you, my brother. Togas. Okay. Abundant blessings. And also, yeah, you feel calm, relaxed. It's also the blue hues. This is feminine energy, man. It's a feminine energetic principle, man. Water. The elements also have either masculine or feminine principles. Once you know that everything has a masculine and feminine principle, it's just like in French, Français, there's genders for things. Like things, like you have to put a gender before things. So you have to know what gender it is. But even also Italian, all of these Indo-European, European languages, because they come from an ancient, past, which I'm not going to jump into now. It's going to open another can of worms. I'm probably going to get some trolls in here. TikTok is dangerous if you're not focused. But we're here to teach, and thank you to those of you who've been contributing. And okay. But yes, Giovanni Giorgio says MRI is magnetic. You know, that's a different thing, because with these different frequencies, it's either you utilize them naturally or you inverse them. Inversing them is dangerous. That's the only time that nature turns on you, is when you try and play God. And what's taking place? I mean, even check outside, they've been spraying things, they've been doing other things. Now there's weather anomalies. Remember, once again, if you're still blaming or shaming or looking for things outside, as opposed to saying, all right, what's my part to play in all of this? What am I actively doing? What is my masculine energy up to? Because you yourself, no matter if you're man or female, male or female, if you're complaining, you are toxically masculine. You're also toxically feminine. So just in yourself, before you spew outside, oh blah 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 blah, you don't know what you up to. You feel what I'm saying? So this is where we bamboozle. This is why we're not able to master our own electromagnetic waves. And then when the waves come in from Solala especially, and then we don't know how to ground with Mama nature, you see, Mama Africa, she's rising, her children are rising. Don't know what these things mean, because you're trying to learn from a being that, or beings, or where you be coming from a place where there's never been love. What is love? No one even knows that, because until you know how to process that within yourself and your cells, you won't know the full extent of it. I don't care who you are. That's what we call embodiment. You must be just like the bee. That's how it makes honey. You don't see anything else making honey. Potently powerful if you know what Baba Lex just said. But once again, it's also in the book, The Law of Attunement Teachings. Pre-order link available. All right? Doctors or life coaches don't teach it. I'm not a life coach, but I guess, when you frame yourself as certain things, and also, once again, you don't do your due diligence, you're going to get bamboozled. And you're going to feel like you get scammed. Oh, black. Yes. But the thing is, it's difficult once the UVC solar rays as a truth teller, a truth revealer, you now blaming other things when the truth is being revealed to you and you're still there. You must get your just desserts. And that's what we call the mistakes. Oh, Baba Lex, I make so many mistakes. I thought I did better. We've all there. We all been there. But also, guess what? We're in angles. We're seeing angles of light, plasma energy, which has never interacted with your cell and our cells before. How you think you're going to be normal? The best thing to do is cut out all the middleman of everywhere. Number one, the physicality. Cut out the middleman in what we put in our solar plexus. Nom, 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 nom. We need to start to take heed. Soon as you always moan, say, blum, 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 you're off key. You guys are starting to notice, because look at this energy. We're in the solstice energy now. Spontaneous fasts are going to take place quite a bit. Also spontaneous, you just not feeling like chewing. Maybe you don't feel like having that favorite snack of yours. Friday night pizza. See, no Diddy, no Hollywood, but pizza's a thing, guys. Apparently that's code word for ophilia, for children. You know what I mean? I don't condone that. Conscious Men community, we don't condone that. And we need to now arise up, wake up and see. But we cannot see if there's still a middleman. If you have a craving, that means there's a middleman between you and your energy. It's called a parasite. Heavy metals, microplastics, all in the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the third chakra, apparently, of the 7. Yes, okay. And that third chakra is the seat of what? Courage, willpower, okay? Guts. Oh, he got guts. She got guts. Where do you think that comes from? Oh, that ties into a little bit of fear, right? Because fear also ties into your adrenal glands, which is the kidney areas, filtrations. Right? Adrenaline. The adrenals are shot because of the amount of this hormone known as cortisol. Cortisol spikes stress, and not the healthy type of stress. Okay? This is a stress which will take you out. And it's taking people out. I mean, what did he just say? Yes. Once again, also, you can also die from a broken heart. No one speaks about this special gland, which is where the T lymphocyte cells are matured. Okay, the thymus gland. It's higher heart area. If you want to locate it, there's a Bermuda Triangle. There's a Bermuda Triangle on you. I'm not going to do it here, but okay, you can find it on yourself. And also, when you hum and just tap just above your heart, you can tap into your thymus gland, and then that also gives you healing. You see? When you remove the middleman from the physicality, you then now have the ability now in your physical nature to be electric. So all of your actions will be supported by your feminine, right? What is the feminine in physicality? In your physicality, that is your ability to rest. It's your ability to rejuvenate. Your ability for self-care, self-love. Wow. So, in this patriarchal, hype the masculine, hypochondriac, go competition culture, where do you find the time to rest your vessel, your physicality? Also, you meant to always paper chase. Once again, once you're already there, it's because you made those choices to get there, right? This is part about being an adult. You can never master electromagnetic waves if you yourself are not radically honest, radically truthful, and therefore authentic. Okay, authenticity. It's in my book as well. It's also in the teachings on my YouTube channel at Lex Stays Liquid. But this is the Law of Attunement Teachings, Book 1. Pre-order link available on my bio. Okay, and yes, Giovanni Giorgio, hydrogen water, mineral water. We can call it even. What is this? There's a name of it. Dr. Jack. Shout out to Dr. Jack Cruz, who commented on one of my videos. Also, it was him on the video. Shout out to Dr. Jack Cruz, the neurosurgeon. Also awakened being away from centralization. You know what I mean? Love what he's doing in terms of truth. Okay, but what's this water? It's got to do with pressure, atmospheric pressure, if I'm not mistaken. But also, you do know that you can drink seawater in certain places. I don't advise it. This is not advice. I'm saying, right, because that composition, the structure is similar to our blood crystal. Shout out to everyone who's joining. Shout out to Divine Sage, brother. I'm sure that everything's going well that side there. I see you looking amazing, taking yourself and yourself seriously. That's what you call, mastering your electromagnetic wave, man, which is you. And in order to, now continue to the next level, because we've done the physicality of the masculine and feminine principles, right? Now we're going to move on to the mental, which so just in closing on that, they're obviously reconnecting with Great Mother. Okay, so connecting, like I said, I've got the video on my YouTube channel. Solar plexus, soles of the feet, and that intricate interconnectedness. That there will allow you, the beans, to continue to grow your beanstalk, Jack, Jane, Thabo, Thandeka, and sort out those physical challenges. Okay? We're going to go into the mental challenges in a few seconds. And then we're going to start to wrap this up. If there's any questions, guys, once again, please put them up. Even if you see this on a replay, continue. But I think that those of you who are super restless, and I know it's a Friday evening and people are just all heated online, let me try this again. Just give me a second. I need to verify this puzzle. This TikTok's giving me puzzles now. Them. TikTok. Now we're doing puzzles now. Yes, Giovanni Giorgio. Sea salt and water. But yeah, just as we said, sea water itself. But once again, it speaks to our current. Yes, the lighthouse portal, and getting our current flowing, our grid. So the chakras. So if we have blockages and we have middlemen, especially in our physicality, this is why the detoxification, whether you do it or not, is taking place by Solala. Solala is not going to let up on that detoxification. You see, Solala is removing what doesn't serve. But you can take charge of this by yourself. And remember, this window is in this decade. After this decade, quote unquote, on this Gregorian calendar, it's going to be very vicious. If not already by maybe 2027. Yeah, that year is going to be wild in terms of dis-ease. All right? Don't say I didn't give you a bean and give you a little bit of a start to fortify your own health. I mean, La Mzansi, just to finish off also in the physical challenges and the solutions there. Mzansi, like they said, there's a COVID-19 nimbus. What? There's a strain called nimbus. Guys, listen. Okay, where did I write that? Let me actually share this with y'all now, because I feel that this will definitely help someone somewhere. Okay? Oh my goodness. the people in the back there. Probably going to do a video with this one. So this is the COVID-19 variant Nimbus side effects. Okay, the side effects are 0 common sense. Number 2, cognitive dissonance. Okay, you must have forgot about the 2020 pandemic. Number 3, and finally, is you are doomed to repeat your ignorance and not be in bliss. Those are the 3 side effects from Baba Lex from this COVID-19 variant known as Nimbus. Please, don't bore me. Don't bore me. Okay? Fortify your health. Health is wealth. If this is still a gibberish to you, blah, 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 get your just desserts. Because guess what's going to start to take place? You're going to start to take amapilis, all of this other extra pharmaceuticals. But what you don't account for is the fact that when you extract just something without it being a full complement of where it's exactly from, you're doomed to have that, whatever it is, have to ground and earth through you. That's what a side effect is, right? We broke that down. So everything, that's part of being a middleman. You must commune directly, solala, you, Mother Gaia. Straight. Not solala, sunscreen, specs, gear, shoes, soles, and then now I'm also chewing some trash, you know, heavy metals, microplastics, what is this? Blue 42, red dye 56. I'm also eating traumatized dead flesh with all of that trauma sitting in me. So now my grid is not able to be in wave. How are you meant to be in wave? How are you meant to be liquid? If you backed up in the physicality. Our physicality is what backs us up first. Okay? So it's imperative that we begin to, not even begin. You should have already started, guys. And I'm not meant, this is not meant to scare you. If you're scared and terrified, that sounds like a you problem. And you need to be more emotionally intelligent. Absolutely, Giovanni Jojo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Traditional Chinese medicine took from original. Everything elsewhere, believe it or not, this might bamboozle you, came from original Mama Africa. Once upon a time, there was no moon. So if there's no moon, there was only then what? Suns. Not one, multiple. See, this is something we know. I know this. Okay, it's in my DNA. I know this. We know a lot more, but once again, some of y'all in your cameras all over the planet are seeing more suns. Then it's turning up. So you have to work with the melanin you have and then upgrade your melanin. A lot of people won't speak about this. A lot of ancient teachers won't give you this. But, you know, you're not doomed. But you must atone. You must cleanse. You must clear. You must clarify. Whether you were there or not, if you talk about your ancestors, it's ancestral shadow work. It's blood crystal shadow work. It's all part of it. You see what I'm saying? Everyone has to go through it. He, she who was first will be last, and he, she who was last will be first. Yes, that's in the Bible, but it's an actual happening because guess what? The religion, as the middleman between you and what you call God, had to make some stop points so that they can check you. Or you check yourself with what? Fear. Because you're scared. You're scared to investigate further. You're scared to disappoint the pastor, even though he likes little boys. Freaking weirdos. Wow. Shout out, 𝙎𝙚𝙗𝙗𝙝. How you feeling, man? Absolutely. All you need is, yep, outside, forest, oxygen, little bit fruits, little bit veggies, solala. The more solala you take, the less you have to graze. The more melanin you have, the easier it will be. But also the more melanin you have and the more you're not listening, because remember, slavery was slavery and everything. This is why Baba Lex is going to ascend very quickly in front of Yao. And I'm going to be able to, because it's just going to take place. Meaning that things like levitation, things like, not to say that it's not already taking place, it's saying that it's going to accelerate, because you must clean up your garden, sort your mess out. Everyone is doing this. Let's play the blame game. The more you keep doing that, you're going to stay stuck in a rut. Remember, feminine energy is also cyclical. It's a cycle. It's a circle. That's the geometry which represents feminine energy, circle, right? So, circle can either represent a rut, right? Same thing, bap, 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 bap. Or it can represent a spiral, either up or down. So you're progressively getting worst, Kanye worst, or you're progressively getting best. Wow, that's where breath comes in. Respira, to spiral, spirare. Right? This is also mastering your electromagnetic wave. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Solala. Yep, that word's going to trend. Let's make Solala trend. If I haven't already. I'm just catching up with the comments quickly. Yep. And of course you're going to feel the shift in your bones. Because guess what? X flares. What takes place when you go for X-rays? What are you observing? Seen? Wow. So these X flares are tapping on the bones. Tip, 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 tip. All day, every day. Okay? Shout out, James. Okay, so now we're moving on to the mental challenges. The mental challenges are the thought forms. And remember, like we said, there's something called Akash, which is the solar, which records everything that's ever happened under a sun. Hence why there's nothing new under a sun. Okay? Thought forms exist in the collective, what you call collective unconsciousness. So once again, in some of the other teachings, I ask some of my clients, my students, whatever the case may be, when you're done thinking a thought, where does it go? Oops. What happens is it joins other thought forms in the collective unconsciousness. And where that lies is what you can call these layers of what you call atmospheres. Okay? I don't want to go too deep in terms of the esoteric, more occulted, meaning hidden information, the more metaphysical, because it's going to bamboozle. I'm going to have to do parts as per request. But once again, we do also have the Law of Attunement Teachings, Book 1. Pre-order link available. Boom. Seen? These thought forms get aggressive when they don't have attention. Just like a child. So, as these thought forms gather, similar thought forms gather, they then, over what you call time, become an entity. These entities, what we know, or what I frame it as, especially in my book, The Law of Attunement Teachings, and also the subsequent teachings on my YouTube channel, at Lex Stays Liquid, is that these thought forms become what we know as the 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins. Okay? Sloth, wrath, gluttony, envy, pride, greed. Okay? And then, equal opposite are the 7 heavenly virtues. Alright? Those thought forms are entities. Those ones are called angels and those ones are called devils, apparently. Right? That's why it's heavenly virtues and deadly sins. Right? These thought forms, let's take one of these negative thought forms. For example, wrath, uncontrolled anger. That entity has a lot of many miniature thought forms within it that make it up. See? Seen. You feel that one? It's in the book as well. Don't worry. Seen. So now, you having no gatekeeping of your mind, your mental elt. You don't have a mental elt. Okay? What will take place is you then have schizophrenias, multiple personality disorders, blah, 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 blick, 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 blick. That's how they start to frame it. Because these thought forms are also looking for a body. They also want to experience the insperience. They just got the insperience, which is what you call the breath. The thought form before it becomes a thing. Sorry, guys. See? It's also in the book. No. I'm loving how I'm using this angle. I've never used the angle like this to teach. It's beautiful. It's so simple, but it makes a lot of sense because it is what takes place. And the more you're not the gatekeeper of your mind, shout out to Dr. Sam Zungu Fidelis on Mental Wealth, the book. It's actually underneath here. And also for allowing me to grace your stage and give my two cents on my favorite chapters. And this is why I always bring it up here. Be the gatekeeper of your mind. So that these thought forms will not be intrusive. That's why sometimes they're forceful. See, it's like a child that's looking for attention. You see? Or what? See? So now, the thought forms. Okay, so this is the mental challenges, right? So the thought forms. Once you know what thought forms are, once you know that they can become entities, whether that's angelic or demonic, devilish, whatever you want to name it, frame it. You know that it's looking to occupy a body, a physicality. So you are a host. Remember, these are also similar to the middleman as a physical parasite. This is the mental equivalent of a parasite. Demons, archons, they are the mental, spiritual equivalent of a parasite in the physical. A fluke worm, roundworm, tapeworm, all of these, okay? It's the same, but different. Right. Who's that? Shout out, Bless. Wow, Bless, you should be bliss. Check out my content. Shout out Xing Shong. So now once you master the thought forms, or master what you know as the thought realm, that means that you take a hold of your mental elt. Okay? We just explained what schizophrenia is. You guys must check this on the replay if you missed it. Amazing, beautiful. And also multiple personality disorder. Okay? What it is also is we are conditioned through the trauma, grooming, whatever you want to call it, between the ages of 0 and 7, and also possibly subsequent other lifetimes, ancestral, whatever the case. We are groomed to run away from ourself. We're taught to fear what we are, or not even taught what we are. Because remember, like in the beginning of this teachings, we get told as children between the ages of 0 and 7, once again, we get switched off what? These faculties, these questions. What? Why? When? Where? How? Why? With who? You're now asking three many questions. And this is what has to re-aliven in order for you to bypass these mental, not even bypass, to integrate the lesson from these mental challenges. Okay, the physicality is the easiest. I mean, for those of you who are not overtly into your cravings or McDonald's, blah, 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 should be fairly easy to cleanse your physicality. But the mentality, you know, this is what people do. You want to put a plasticine or a band-aid or bandage and not get to the root. But I mean, that's why it's also in my book, The Law of Attunement Teachings, book 1. Pre-order link available. All right, check my bio. Once you master this realm of thought, you know that you don't have to think, because once again, thinking is the act of you trying to justify what you at that now moment do not know. Whenever you are thinking, you are trying to justify what you don't know. So when you don't know, you look outside to beliefs. In between belief, there's a lie. We know this. Once again, this is what brings about mental health issues. Because once again, we don't trust our own intuition, but we pay tuition and then we get in debt. In debt. Have you seen how that spell goes? Very scary. That spell is horrendous. Okay? We already spoke about the 7 deadly sins and also shadow work. So once you start to take a hold of this mental realm, you'll see in your own life, in real time, bending what we call reality. Deja vu, deja day, deja week. You guys call it a week. It's a deja strong. Shout out Londi M. How you feeling? So guys, okay, we're on some teachings. We almost finished with the teachings. And then I'll open it up to questions for those of you still in here and you have some questions if you want to come and ask on the panel. But the traumas are also what don't allow your mental energy to flow. Remember, the aim for you to master electromagnetic waves is for you to become the wave. Your physical vessel first must be liquid. And then you connect your grid, which is your chakras, linked to your organs, linked to your glands, linked to your hormones. Hormone secretion. Mai off, if it is off balance, off key, helter-skelter, you yourself, your thoughts, your mind, your focus, you're sluggish, your rhythms, you off. Young Tsar, it's simple. Okay? And then now the spiritual challenges. Number 1, breath. Because that's what it is. Nose breathe, not mouth breathing. Okay, we play with the diaphragm. Diaphragmic breathing, squeezing. It's called bandhas. In the Ayurvedic, you call it Ayurvedic teachings. Okay, it's squeezing of certain places in your chakras, in your body. They call them locks. Okay? These locks, be careful, because yeah, you pass out quickly. But what that does is it opens your mind. Okay, it liberates your thought forms. Also, those of you who are struggling with addiction, I know there's one guy who came on here and said, yes, I need to get in touch. But once again, your breath can, even those of you, anxiety. There was a client who I helped just recently. Breath, once you get in charge of your breath, you don't need to worry about drugs for anxiety. These dagamis are for anxiety. You don't need to worry about that. I promise you. Once you take, because what happens when you have anxiety? Your breath, you can't catch your breath. Your breath's running away from you. You see? Shout out Muzi Nation. So once we take charge of the breath, and then also we remove what we call beliefs, check out my YouTube channel. I lay it all out there. Okay, the teachings are available. In between belief, there's a lie. And also, remember, we're removing the middleman from everywhere. The middleman is the neutron. Because remember, those UVC solar radiations are bringing out a detoxifier, a cleanser, a clarifier, a truth revealer, a truth shower, a veil remover, electromagnetic wavelength destroyer. Okay, because you can see what's happening with our electronics, guys. Especially here on this solstice. Look at the solstice, what it's doing to our, when you're trying to upload something, it's taking 50 years, but it's only 30 seconds. You're trying to contact so-and-so, boom, boom, boom. Maybe on that side they're fine. On this side, there's wild things taking place. It erases your stuff. Oh, now you have to okay? All of this stuff is part of. But also remember that there's things in place which are trying to actively take us all out. It keeps us alive just long enough that we're able to give it some loosh, some energy. That's what a parasite does, isn't it? I mean, it's at Lex Stays Liquid on my YouTube channel. I've got the teachings there. Like we said, the Lighthouse Portal, they're going to go viral when they go viral. Because it's already there. I laid it all out. What we're going to do is going to start to chop up some of these, especially in 26 and 27. Because then I can say, yeah, I did this I'm playing. I did this 3 years ago. Nah, we're not a clown about it. But once again, listen to this weirdo over here, this crazy Sangoma, the conscious divergent. Because guess what? There'll come a time, and it's already happening, where y'all will be like, hey, Baba Lex, what were you saying again about, and I'll just tell you two things. The Law of Attunement Teachings, book 1, as a foundation. And then I also have the replays of all of the teachings on my YouTube channel. Go and have fun. Ask questions. All right? And then in terms of the belief, it's now the spiritual challenges, we're still there. How do we frame what we call God? How do you frame God? Is the belief, is it through a religion? And if it is, question it. It doesn't matter which one it is. Not only question it, start to go back and see where and why it is the way it is. And see why you are there. Answer all of these questions. See? It's going to be on the replay. Just ask all of these questions. Okay? What, when, well, why, when, where, how, with whom. That'll be stupendous for you. That'll be fantastic. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Okay? Tap into your ancestry and blood crystals. So, in other words, do shadow work. What is shadow work? In a nutshell, it's sitting with yourself in solitude and observing what comes up. physical cravings, physical irritations, thought forms, irritations, thought forms, traumas, not just in this life, past lives, but do that over a period of time so that you can take stock of why you are the way you are. And therefore, you'll be able to know what a wave is within you. With each breath, you will know that instead of me being in belief and thinking and thought forms all the time, my electric or masculine energy, I'm now in my magnetic feminine knowingness, the heart space, the hypothalamus. Okay, meaning that my T lymphocyte cells are optimum. So my, by default, vitality is up. My immunity is up. I am like the bee, being, and therefore through the cerebrospinal fluid am now crucifying Christos, Christ oil, at Golgotha, in between two thieves, Calvary, skull, right? And therefore what's flowing is from pineal, that golden and pituitary, the milk, white liquid, white fluid, the golden milk and honey fluids mixing, and now after 3 days coming down the chimney, claustrum. Okay, coming down the claustrum and then being resurrected 3 days later. Boom. And then I am enlightened. Then I start to pulse the wave. I now know my own electromagnetic wave. Because we know that, yes, your thoughts, or they say the brain mind, is it brings out yes, it gives you your toroidal field, your electromagnetic field, yes, but the strongest pulsar of your electromagnetic field is the heart, your feminine energy, your ability to self-love. This is also where your soul resides. This is why we say, if you want to know God, it is more a feminine energy. Not to say it's a female. Behave yourself, feminists. My gosh. Okay? It's more of a feminine energetic principle in its behavior, in its action, in its movement, how it be. See? Beautiful. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Well, tell guys. Lighthouse Portal, if you have any questions that have come through and I've missed any of them, I'll give it about 2 more minutes. But if not, once again, I want to say thank you to those of you who are taking the time out to take yourself seriously. Because in order to master electromagnetic waves, number one, first you even need to know what a wave is. And what we've established over here, okay, in these teachings, which will also come on a replay, but if you're watching this on a replay, please ask those questions, okay? You cannot want to be outside what you yourself are not. I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back. You cannot want to be the master of electromagnetic waves or frequencies if you yourself are not the master magnetic, the master of your own magnetic frequency waves. You feel me? Okay? Y'all need to know what's going for what. Just in closing, we're going to allow the Lighthouse Portal to jump in here. Togosani! Aloha!
Aloha. Happy Aloha Friday. Happy solstice. I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please shoot. How was Hawaii, by the way? How's it going there? How's the weather?
Solala. Would you like to see? Here, let's check it. Ooh, what's happening out here? Let's look. We have a brief moment of solala. Let's go. There it is. Yay. Little bit of clouds, little bit of rain, little bit of solala. Very potent though. We had a lot of solar energy this strong, so we're grateful. Mahalo solala.
Beautiful.
So my question, let's not forget the question.
Yes, please.
It's
Yes, please.
one thing to reach the frequency of understanding and omnistanding your electromagnetic frequency and how powerful you are there with your own magnet. What are some tips you can give some people on maintaining that frequency? Mahalo.
Wow. Beautiful question. Stunning question. Um, to maintain is it's maintenance, right? You're speaking maintenance. Okay, if we're speaking maintenance, establish yourself. That won't make sense unless I say this. So, on the route to remembering who you are, becoming the wave, self mastery, that's the CELLPH, the potential hydrogen. You've cleansed your cells. You now know yourself because it's clear, right? You see clearly. You now are attuned, hence the law of attunement. Once you get there, you then have rising rituals. You have, the sun gazing. You don't just stop sun gazing. You don't just stop doing the cold therapy. You don't just stop doing the journaling. You don't just stop grounding in nature. You don't just stop. More and more and more, you simplify yourself in the system and your role in that system which is broken. So the more you are sustaining that system which is broken, it allows you to be further away from yourself because it's self-sabotage by default. So the more you self-sabotaging, the more you self-loathing, the more you're not accountable for you making the selection of the choice of still staying there, even though it's an abusive relationship with the body, mind, and spiritual. Take your pick.
Beautiful answer. Thank you. I love how it brings it right back always to the present moment. The maintenance is in the present moment. We have to be here. We can't be over there, over there, over there, over there. We have to be right here. Thank you so
Precisely.
much. Wow.
Thank you.
Powerful.
Thank you for the question. And you know, uh, that over there was one of the most beautiful questions live that I've received.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think it's really important when
What I'd like
someone's
to do
paying
is just
attention and when someone is paying attention and has a question, and then they're just, vulnerable enough to go ahead and voice that question. Like, sure, I had some answers, but I was so interested in what you had to say about that, seeming as this is your book and the law of attunement is a frequency and a code that you carry watermatically. Mahalo. I would love to put part of this replay up on my YouTube page if you don't mind. The Lighthouse Portal is like, yes, let's go.
Listen, I would love that. I would actually really appreciate that. In fact, um, it did request me. Let me just do this. I don't know if it's able to, but I'm just trying to see if I can. Anyway, we'll save it for another one. But at least we got your question. I definitely would love to send you this. I don't know if I'm able to send it to you now, but we'll figure that out. I just also want
Oh,
to
yeah,
add to that. I just want to
please.
add to that as well because we have had frequent mention about this, but just for the people in the back, you know, each and every day we are faced with a plethora of choices. Those choices look like they are normal. What we may be heed of is that
They have completely frozen you. Just to see if we can increase some bandwidth for you.
Tagaza Tanda, how you feeling? We're about to end off, but once again, just to leave this open to one or two more questions if they are available. Mastering electromagnetic waves. Those of you who missed the lecture, this will definitely go on a replay. Shout out to Quinn Molweni. All right. Anyway, I've enjoyed myself this evening. We're back once again with the teachings, and reach out for those of you looking for holistic health coaching, online, in person, limited. Okay, we're about to go on the book tour, national, sub-Saharan book tour. Also, we're going to be kicking off our filming of the documentary Aloha Meets Ubuntu. Shout out to the Lighthouse Portal 7.11. Also, thank you for that beautiful question. Those of you who joined, thank you for your support. And also, subscribe if you haven't already. Please, with that being said, remain blissful. Shh. Shh. Stay liquid.